And good morning. And look who's back. Look who's back with us. It's Chris. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster. And we have our wonderful Chris Edwards is back. He's been on the road. He's been doing his thing. So, Chris, welcome back. And what have you been conquering since you've been away?
Thank you, sir. It's good to be home. I was on vacation for a little bit of work, and I'm here for this week, and then I'm going again next week to work. So you won't see me next week Thursday, but I will be back for next week Friday show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's so good to have you back. I see first person in the bank is Hannah. She says, "Good morning, Chris and Ron."
Good morning.
Looks like it's just, and what's been happening is it's been very slow bringing people into the show every day. It starts off very slow, and then about 25 minutes in, then everybody's here.
I think it's the summertime lull. Everyone's just like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
It is definitely a summertime lull. I was saying how work has been slow, but that's okay because it helps me to pivot to something else, which I'm working on my store. So that way it'll be all up and running by Christmas time. So that way my photos will be easy to download. You can download them and frame them and give them to family.
Okay. Well, I have to say the total opposite for me. This is busy season. So you've been busy. Just going back and forth. So yeah. Not complaining though.
Don't complain. Yep, we cannot complain. I never complain when it's busy. Bryson's in the building. He says, "What's up? Welcome back, Chris. What's up, RLP fam? What's up, CQ fam?" Indeed, sir. And he says, "Happy Tyler Perry Thursday." Really? Is that a holiday? Is that a real day, or is that just something going on today? Who knows? Well, Bryson knows all this stuff. Anything entertainment is Bryson. And so that's interesting to say.
When are we getting a Bryson segment?
Bryson's pretty been doing good. Like he's been doing, it's just been kind of like adding on and sending, and so we've been kind of like, okay, just going with his flow.
Okay.
Yeah.
We still need to get him on. Like give him a 5-minute block or so.
Yeah, 5 minutes, right? He says it's divorce. It's Divorce in the Black on Prime Video.
Right. Okay, right. He has a new movie is it on Prime? I didn't realize it was on Prime. I thought it was going to be in the movie theaters. But he's been working on that for a while, and I saw him, on the circuit doing the promotion for it. So I definitely want to check it out.
Interesting. Well, I no longer have Prime. I got rid of it.
What?
I got rid of a lot of my subscriptions. I was like, I'm done. This is costing me too much. I got rid of $130 worth of subscriptions. $200 worth of subscriptions.
So you pay for your deliveries with Amazon now?
Now I just simply go to the store. If I need it.
Wow.
Well, first of all, I live in New York City. So yes, it is. The convenience of Prime is getting it the next day. And however, when I'm out and about, I ride a bike. All over the city, so I know exactly where to get these things. So I'll just get on the bike, pop off, dock it, go into the store, grab something, put it in my backpack, get back on the bike, and head on home. And
that is the convenience of New York City.
That's the beauty of living in New York City. The only thing I'm going to miss are some of the movies and some of the TV shows, but that's okay. I'll regroup. I still have Hulu and I still have Netflix.
Okay. Well, listen here. Here's my reason for keeping Amazon Prime. I don't think I can actually live without it now. There was a situation where I was traveling to DC for work.
Okay.
And I left an essential thing that I needed, and I ordered it on the train, and it was delivered at where I was staying later that afternoon. So like that could have been huge because I was actually traveling to 2 different places after DC. I was flying somewhere else. So it was perfect that I could give it a location, say, hey, and it was same day delivery. It got to that evening and I needed to buy that evening. So it was perfect. Like that was the prime example of having Prime for me.
Well, that's true too. Cause you're on the road a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you are on the road a lot, and you have clients when you're on the road, so you never know when you're going to need something on the road. I never thought about using Amazon in that capacity.
Neither did I. I was on a train. I'm like, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I'm like, well, you know what? Wait a minute. I could do Amazon Prime. I can get the same day. So I went to look to see if it was available same day. It was. I said, all right, well, I know where I'm going to be staying. I'll just have it shipped. I added that as a shipping address. And it was delivered to the concierge that day. And I picked it up and I was able to use it that night and then take it with me on to the next destination that I was going to. So it was like,
nice.
I was like, right there alone, the Prime membership paid for itself.
Yeah. Because your clients were happy that you had what you needed.
Yeah.
That's, I tried to do that when I was in Martha's Vineyard. I needed something when I was in Martha's Vineyard. I said, oh, let me just call Prime and get Prime to come. But because I was on Martha's Vineyard, it's an island.
It's a little harder.
It's a lot harder because the deliveries are from on the mainland.
Yeah.
And so they have to get on the boat, send it over by the boat. And I guess there's some time sequences to how they work their deliveries from the mainland to Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
But I did try it. I did try to use it that way, but that was the first time I ever thought of it. But you just reminded me of how that can be a good use when you, especially if you're on the go and on the move, and you're working on the road, and you're in different countries and different states.
No, it doesn't work for everything, but it's if it works,
Amazon,
it works.
Is Amazon in other countries? Is it just a United States thing?
No, I believe they're in other countries. I don't know for a fact, but I'm almost positive they are.
Yeah, I don't know that answer. I don't. If I'm in London, can I ask for something in London for Amazon? I don't know.
Actually, I'm going to look while we continue to do this.
Now you got me curious. I didn't know that. While you're doing that, I'm going to say hello to some folks. I see who arrived in the building. David is in the building. David Mascaro is in the building. So good to see you. Oh, yes, we're going to dive into this. We're going to dive in. Thoughts on George Clooney's statements. Yes, we are going in. We're going in today. Hannah says, good morning, David. How are you feeling? I see Trish is in the building. Ding, 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 ding. Good morning, Ron and Chris. And Gwendolyn says she's taking a moment, a little quick break from her exercise. Get yourself ready. You're supposed to be on the panel on Thursdays. Get over here, G. We need you, G. Especially this conversation later on.
And yes, Amazon is in other countries.
Okay, so Amazon can be delivered in other countries. Excellent. That's good to know. So maybe when I decide to go to another country, I will.
After the election.
After the election. You have to figure out what country I'm going to be living in. Anyway. I'm trying to figure out a game plan. Where am I going to live if Trump becomes president? What would not be so destroyed by him being president? Anyway, I see Lisa's in the building. She goes, where my mom lives, even the Prime is 2 days delivery. Morning, everyone, she says. Really? Lisa. 2 days delivery? See, this is what I will miss about Prime. Is that it was pretty much guaranteed that I would have it. If I ordered it before 11 o'clock or before noon today, it will be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
It'll be here tomorrow. And
well, it depends on where you live. Like if you live in a big metropolis like New York, New York. DC, LA, like those places, you're going to get next day delivery or same day delivery.
Yes, and Chris has confirmed Amazon is global.
Yeah.
Bryson says it's all over countries. It's all over. And Trish says George is a kook. Kook. And Lisa says F Clooney and tequila. Oh, we're about to go in. We are about to go in today, guys. This conversation.
Am I missing something?
Well, did you see the headlines yesterday about Clooney saying that Biden should drop out of the race?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh my goodness!
I had been out of the loop a little bit.
Oh my goodness! And Bryan is in the building, so Bryan may be able to join later on if he wants to. Also, hats off to Bryan. Bryan did a beautiful Clubhouse last night. He and Alieze and 2 other folks, or 3 other folks, and some people were chiming in about Project 2025, and it was really done. Yeah, I was like, I said,
Clubhouse is still a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know until Bryan sent me the link.
Know. I thought it went away.
I thought it went away too, but
I'm I have to say,
Bryan sounds really good on Clubhouse. I was like,
"Come on, Bryan!"
Wait a minute, Bryan sounds like he should be a DJ, like on somebody's radio show. He was holding his own. I was like, I mean, usually when he's on the screen, he's a little more, I think, intimidated by the camera. I don't know. Check me, Bryan, if that's not true. But when he was in Clubhouse last night, brother was smooth. He was orchestrating. He was moving. He was saying, "This is where we're going to go next. This is what we're going to do. This is where we're, I mean, I wasn't, and he said, I like to think such and such." And he had the cool voice. His voice was like, "Yes, guys, I just want y'all to."
You know what? His voice was probably made for radio.
His voice is made for radio. I said, "Come on, Bryan. Excuse me, Bryan." So anyway, shout out to Bryan for his Clubhouse last night, and I got the tail end. I had to run out to take some goods over to my mom's, and then I rode the bike there, and then rode the bike back home, and then zoomed in the house and said, "I gotta catch Bryan. I gotta catch Bryan." And it was good to see Alieze was there as well, and they all sound beautiful on radio. I was like, look, listen to this. Alieze sounds like she was. Like she's been doing this, like this is her life profession. So shout out to Alieze, shout out to Bryan for conducting an amazing Project 2025 Clubhouse last night.
Can I say something about that? Like I've realized that in the last 2 weeks, and I think we talked about this on Monday. Shout out and hand claps to Taraji P. Henson for bringing Project 2025 to the masses via the BET Awards. Because ever since she used that platform, I've seen more local news on that everywhere. Mm-hmm. And how they started talking about was they talked about the fact that she used the BET Awards to highlight Project 2025, and now the newscasters are talking about on a regular basis. So kudos and hats off to you, Taraji.
I see also the Girls Club is in the building. Good morning, Girls Club. Girls Club. And CH is still there. Lisa Seeley says he wrote a whole letter after he just hosted a $30 million fundraiser. We are going to defeat ourselves. Like I said, no one does it better like a Democrat to eat their own.
Yes.
But we're going to dive into that. That's our discussion for today. There are some headlines out there, but there's nothing like the only headlines really is one, NATO. President Biden has been he's been hosting NATO, so all the leaders from all over the globe, all over Europe, part of NATO are here in the United States in DC, and it's been going very well. If you've been following it on C-SPAN, it's been really good. He's been hosting them. And Biden's doing his job. Biden is president. Remember, y'all, he is currently the president and doing president work. Not only that, but not after he finished with the NATO summit yesterday, he ended up also spending time with one of the larger workers' unions yesterday, and it got no coverage. And this is what I mean about the media. Biden was out at the NATO summit doing that. After that, he did something else. And then he also did something that was really major, getting the endorsement of one of the largest workers' unions in the country. But you would think that would have been coverage, but they did not cover it. Did you see it on any of the channels? Did you see it on ABC? Nope. Did you see it on CBS? Nope. If you did, let me know. NBC? Nope. CNN? Nope. Did you see it on MSNBC? There was one person that covered it that I know of. So this is what I mean about this lopsided coverage of Biden and what he's done as a president. Like, again, I will say it over and over again. I don't care if they put a ham sandwich in a chair and I had to vote for it over Trump. I don't care. And I don't care if Biden is, again, I say it over and I'll say this over. I don't care if he has an oxygen mask on. I don't care if he has tubes coming out of his body and all he can do is blink, for 2 blinks for yes and 1 blink for no. That is exactly where there is no other way to go. As they say in Star Wars, this is the way.
Yeah.
You cannot. We're going to just dive in. I got Alieze right there. Alieze is in the building. We got one more slot. Let's see if Bryan comes on or Gwendolyn. But Alieze is in the building. Alieze is in the building. Hi, Alieze.
Banner.
Oh, let me get rid of my banner, right? Let me get rid of my banner. That banner is in the way. Alieze, can you hear us? We still can't hear Alieze.
Yes,
there she goes. There she is.
Mute until I get in. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Alieze. You did so well with Bryan last night. I just tell you.
Thank you.
I just want to say, and I just want to take a moment to say how thankful I am for you. I just want to say, in front of all the people, in front of the people that may see this video, I want everyone to know how thankful, how much I appreciate you, your energy, your drive, your ability to inform and to educate, and just being a sweet person.
Thank you, Rod. I appreciate you too.
Yes.
There's no one like Alieze. I tell you, and again, I tell people all the time, I would have never known, because we've been talking about Project 2025 since last year.
Yeah.
But we would have never known about it if Alieze didn't mention it to us. Because I didn't know nothing about it. I was like, Project what? And I say that all the time because it takes an educated community to make the whole community smart. It's all of us working together to educate one another, to support one another, and to bring information to the group and keep us all aware of what's happening around us. And so and I'm glad to see there is traction. Like MSNBC now, 4 of the anchors, they do Project 2025 so far over the last week every day. So it's taking ground, and it's taking ground when you have Trump trying now to separate himself from it.
Yes, that
because he's terrified.
He says he doesn't know what it's about, and
I don't know who these people are.
But all the people that created Project 2025 were people that worked for him. And they actually call him out in Project 2025.
Yes. And they have him shaking hands with the leader of the Heritage Society.
Yes.
And his Supreme Court justices that he put on court came from the Federalist Society. Yeah. Come on, y'all. We know he is a liar.
They're all trying to distance themselves. Once it became more the mainstream media started saying something about it, because some of them you still not, like, you shaky. Some New York Times person just popped up on my timeline.
I don't know what happened to the New York Times. They are they're garbage now.
They've all hired. Well, when you look at the documentation and people have looked at it, all these CEOs are supporting Trump. They all have donated to Trump.
Yes.
Number one, all these media CEOs, I should say. I want people to understand that they've donated to Trump. And you look at a lot of the papers and stuff, they've all hired at least one of their executives from his side. And that's not about balance. That really is about, we still want to try to figure out how to keep our tax breaks, which expire in 2025.
Yes.
I want people to focus on that. It expires in 2025. Focus on that. And then, so we keep harping on the thing that matters the least, right? Where Biden is, or what he did weeks ago, doesn't matter. But how much focus are they putting on what the former president has done? The 34 convictions, the rape part, the fraud, the lies. They don't talk about it as much. And I think that's the part that, and as Ron was saying, that's where all of the Democrats who are speaking on the other side and talking about stepping down, that's where their problem comes. You support your person, your horse. When you got a horse in a race, you support that horse no matter what.
You support it. I don't get it.
What I don't get is you don't hear any Democrats or Republicans asking for Trump to withdraw from the race. He is a convicted felon.
Yeah, absolutely.
He could not get a job at McDonald's.
It's right.
Right.
But he can run a country.
Right.
As they say, that one. Right. But it's to me, and we're gonna cover a couple of headlines from yesterday, but one of them is definitely, and can I say, now this, I learned this because of my Christian upbringing, being raised by a PK, and also going to church and all the other stuff. However, this is not just a church rule. This is a universal law. A house divided cannot stand. It cannot stand. You cannot fight each other. You cannot tear each other apart and think you can stand against the enemy or the foe. It is impossible. It is impossible for you to stand. I think back when I look at my study of Roman warfare, and or the Greeks, I should say, Romans and the Greeks, they pretty much did, but Romans were really good at this. Is that when they had the warriors come together and they were going out to fight, and the enemy or whoever was coming at them, how did they stop them? They created this like dome to protect them and then keep moving and thrusting forward. You can only thrust forward together.
Absolutely.
You can only thrust forward together. And again, for all of those people that are saying, oh, the polls say this and the polls say that. But again, we can make the polls say whatever we want. For instance, it's still a tie, according to the polls.
46-46.
46-46.
According to the polls, Biden since then has gained points. That's how I got it.
He gained points among the not the Democrats, not
undecided.
The ones in the middle.
The ones in the middle.
The ones in the middle.
Undecided.
So he's gained ground there. And the thing, what's amazing to me is, again, the craziness of all of this noise. They could be talking about one thing and one purpose and one person, and just say, Trump, Trump, Trump. We need to defeat Trump. Then just keep listing all of the crazy stuff. And again, for all those senators out there and all of those House members that are saying, I can't win my election because of Biden, then that means you are not doing your job.
Absolutely.
Because you should be knocking on doors and educating your constituents. That's what it comes down to. People are not pulling away from the Democrat Party because Biden's at the head of the ticket. Are you kidding me? People know, majority of us know, it's democracy or dictatorship.
Yep.
Right.
That's it. There's no other choice. It doesn't matter who's at the ticket. Like I said, if it was a ham sandwich, that ham sandwich would probably get a good turnout. If for those that want to save democracy. I don't care that Biden's old. What I do care is that in someone help me in this community or out there. Why do humans do this? Meaning, this man has accomplished more in this century than any other president in the last 60 years. And he's done so much for working people, poor people, people of color, judicial system, medical assistance, cleaning the lead out of the waters, and getting infrastructure done, getting all this stuff, if you go to and just like Alieze and I always say, just go and put it on Google, list Biden's accomplishments, presidential accomplishments. It gives you more than 30 things that this man has accomplished.
Right.
And how is it possible that people can turn on you like that?
Because Democrats are not promoting it. They're not talking about it enough. You know, if they were out there on the stump, you know, praising these accomplishments, they would realize. I mean, but here's the thing, though, too. People aren't paying attention. They don't start paying attention until maybe 2 months, right after Labor Day is when people start paying attention to general politicians and the election. That's when it becomes important and real to them. We need to be paying attention years in advance. You know, Absolutely. This is not something that's just now happening. This has been going on. This has been happening for years.
So here's the thought.
So the problem, let me tell you, the problem between the difference between the Republicans and Democrats. Republicans don't care what you think. You know, what people are saying. For you to be successful, you can't care what everybody else thinks, right? The Democrats spend too much time caring what the media has to say or anyone else. And if they, like Kamala Harris, at least, you know, in the last few days, she has started saying, we've done this, and this. Everybody needs to be doing the exact same thing. They, as I said last night, they need a script. You follow the script just like the Republicans follow their script. Here are the things you accomplish. And the ones that are worried about whether or not they're going to be reelected, it's not about Biden. It's about whether or not you're backing the horse that you have in a race. Yeah, I understand that. People want you to be firm in what you believe. So you get those talking points. Everybody had the same little short sheet. All of those things you've accomplished, all the things that you do as Democrats, you're responsible for them having now. Just go out and have that. And then on the other side, have your talking points about the other person and put those things out. 34-time convicted felon. You put all those things out there. Lead with that.
Keep putting it out. Keep going at it.
I hate to have to say this, but Democrats have to start acting like Republicans. Republicans will have talking points. Hold on, they have talking points, and they actually had these guys going out there and dressing exactly like Trump. Okay,
absolutely.
They literally were duplicates of him, stumping for him, saying exactly the same thing. Like literally, they had a script. Everyone came out and said the same thing day after day after day. This is why their people are for them and will never ever change, because they're saying the same thing over and over again. They've repeated it so much, it becomes a part of their consciousness, okay? This is what Democrats have to do.
Here's something they could be talking about. Instead of talking about Biden, they should be talking about this. Heritage Foundation leader says second American Revolution will be bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Yes.
How now that should be the news.
Yeah.
This headline should be the news.
Cable news has picked it up because I've heard on several different places on like CNN and MSNBC. But like that's huge. Like he's basically saying, unless you go along with us, we're going to have a civil war and it's going to be bloody.
Right.
Yes.
So unless our guy wins, this is what's going to happen. But
that's exactly what he said.
And it depends on how big. You know, everybody said, "Oh, it should be a blue wave." I want a tsunami.
Yeah,
I want a tidal wave. I don't want just a little wave. I can sit and watch those waves and don't have to run. You need a tidal. You need a tsunami. You need something that's going to be massive. And if people like, oh, you know, that frightens me. So if it frightens you, do something about it. You should be. And I'm not going to ever tell you, no, you should be afraid of the thought that that you close off a border and you then round up 11 to 15 million people and deport them, and that you and for the people who are out there who are well, your parents came into this country and you were quote unquote that anchor baby, you were born here, they want to take that away from you. They want to take that birthright away from you. You're not secure. You're not safe. So all of those ones out there, we're going to vote for him. And you came across, your parent came across that border and they are supporting this, and they came across illegally. They're coming for you, even though you were born here and you had that birth certificate. They want to reverse that and put you out of this country. And people need to understand that you're not safe because they give you proximity to whiteness, because they have a box where you check whether or not you're Black and Hispanic or white and Hispanic. Doesn't mean that they accept you, and you will be amongst the ones rounded up. And don't think that because I was born here that makes me safe. It does not. If your parents were not Americans and they came here illegally, they're going to round you up. Because your parents, they believe that you're having they had the baby over here so you can be an American, and they have the quote unquote anchor baby. You will be deported with the ones they round up.
Well, I mean, Alieze, you even know that they're trying to take away citizenship that for people that have been naturalized. You know, that's one of the things that concerns me, because I'm a naturalized citizen since I was 16, 17 years old.
But they want to take this. Yes, there's some people that want to take that away.
So, but at the same time, so you got to. It's like what we talked about before, right? So you're gonna have special exceptions for people, right? Because Melania Trump and her parents.
There you go.
Well, when you're in a dictatorship,
they fall in that category, right?
But when you're in a dictatorship, all that matters is what the dictator wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it comes down. So, what do you guys think of Clooney's statements?
I personally think he should have kept his mouth closed.
Yeah.
You go to a $30 million, you raise money, and then you come out and write this statement, and you say, my husband just reading in the paper, they say, oh, he talked to Obama. I don't care who you talk to. You should have stayed quiet. If you want to say something, you come out in defense of this person. Your only letter your statement should have been in defense of this person. So it was a couple of things I thought about with George Clooney. My first thought was, is he still upset because he felt Biden attacked his wife when he said something about her group's decision?
Yeah.
For the UN? I don't know, because he surely was upset at the time.
So we're like, how is that possible? And I just sat there and said, I mean, if you read the article, it's quite interesting. He was saying how Biden does not, I'm paraphrasing, this is not the same Biden of 2017, I think it was, and then
of course 2000,
and then 2010 and 2020, and then just a couple of months ago. So no one's the same person.
But you have to ask the question. He needs to ask himself this question: your memory as an actor, is it the same as it was in 2017?
Definitely
I know
not.
mine is not the same as it was in 2017. I had to reread things several times to really get the gist of it. So is your memory still the same? Are you still the same quality of person you were as far as mental and physical ability? Most of us are as we get older, right?
Our brains go down.
When did it become okay to discriminate and have this ageism thing? Like, we've always been about, no ageism, no sexism, no colorism. And now all of a sudden, everybody is jumping on the bandwagon and having this debate about ageism. I mean, I thought that our elderly was supposed to be revered. And I mean, he's a wealth of knowledge. Granted, yes, he's not at the peak where he was before, but nobody is as they get older. We all know it takes a lot longer and harder to get out of bed in the morning. Sometimes you got these
as you get older.
I mean, come on now.
No one is. So
and age, no one can we all say no one will escape age?
No.
However, the only people that do escape age are in the ground.
Absolutely. So I think that one of the things that all of these things do, so you're trying to give weight to what celebrities have to say.
Yes.
And so we have got to stop listening to what celebrities are saying. And then on the side of, if we're supposed to be supporting the person or our democracy, because I tell you, it's democracy or dictatorship, right? Mm-hmm. If that's what we're supporting, then we need to support that.
Yes.
We need to not look at and criticize the person. We need to be dealing with the other side and stop getting because people are asking questions. So you take their interviewing you. I'm going to have my talking points. You can ask me about Biden's age. I'm going to immediately tell you, let's talk about these 34 felony convictions. Let's talk about the lies. Let's talk about, if you want to talk about Biden's accomplishments in the last 3.5 years, we can talk about that. We're going to talk about anything that's relevant. And it's up to the person being interviewed to change the subject. Yeah. And George, for whatever reason, everybody right now, I still want us all to think as we are looking at this picture, and George Clooney and anyone else, look at this. 1968 happened after Lyndon Johnson said he was not going to run, and he announced that in March of that year. You're talking about getting someone
think about that. March of that year.
You're talking about getting someone to say something with little over a month before the convention. And as Ron said, unless he says, I retire today, I'm resigning today and Kamala is president, that's something different. But so what it did with that convention was it was total chaos. It was total chaos. What it ended up being, you got Richard Nixon.
Yes.
So my thing is, you have to remember history. And for those,
well, they're not teaching it.
I know. That's why it's up to us to let them know.
That's why they keep trying to get rid of history. That's why they want to get rid of the Project 2025 wants to get rid of the Department of Education for many reasons.
And we do have
a dummy down society will fall in line to whatever you put in as a dictator.
We have a columnist for the Washington Post, Eugene Robinson, who actually wrote his column on the similarities between it's like last month, between now and 1968, how very similar it is.
All right, two comments.
Very serious. Go ahead, buddy.
Two comments. One, Jazzy's comment that they made, not for nothing, but in 2020, the Dems essentially begged Biden to run, which is the absolute truth. Yes, there you go.
Absolutely.
Well, like I tell people all the time, there could not have been an Obama presidency without Biden.
Yeah.
Now people say, "Oh, Ron, how could you say it?" They needed Biden to run because he was going to take care of the international stage, and Obama had no experience internationally, so they had to put Biden on the ticket, so that way our allies and all of the people that were seniors in our country and military and all the people that were saying, "Oh, Obama doesn't have enough experience," he is okay because he has Biden to back him up as VP.
Right. And after 2016, they felt that the only person they could call into this to beat Trump was Biden.
And Biden did it.
And he did. And he completed the assignment, right?
He completed the assignment.
And now they're turning on him.
Isn't that crazy? It goes to shit. Human beings are
awful.
Some folks are awful. Some folks are just awful that you think about this man has done nothing but put people forward, care about other people, care about the American country, the society, middle class, poor people. And they turn. People will turn on you.
In a heartbeat.
And I need to see Obama's face saying something other than if you donate $5. I need Obama to come out and talk about what this administration has done. Because they did more than he did.
That's right.
So he needs to come out and say that. I think every voice, that the loudest voices should be talking about accomplishment. On the other side, they should be doing exactly what, as I keep saying, Jasmine Crockett, whenever she talks about the former president, everybody should be doing exactly what she's doing. She sticks to those issues. She sticks to what the truth is about that person. That's what you have to do. Oh, Trish, they haven't decided who his running mate is, but
that'll be next week.
And this is the other thing. Biden should, in whatever decision, if he decides, he already told everyone he's running. So people need to shut up. Once he said, "I'm going nowhere, I'm running," then they all should have been shut down, shut their mouths, including, and I'm so sorry to say, Nancy Pelosi. She should have shut her trap yesterday and said, "You know what? He already said he's running. We're behind him. We're 100% behind him. what's so hard about if all of the Democrats, they could have stopped this hemorrhaging
right
from the very beginning. Once that those two or three Congress people, well, it was the one at first, came out, they all should have rallied in behind together and said, you know what? We have one person, but the 200
There's
other
none of
of
them
us
now.
are with. Yeah. But
So
still,
here's the thing.
most people are for Biden. And when you check people, when they said when they went to the Essence, some of the black folks that were at Essence event this past weekend, they could not come across anyone that said they wanted someone different than Biden.
Yeah.
And they said if Biden did leave, they want Kamala.
Yeah, and that's the problem they will have right there. That would be the problem. But they did very well on the stage there too.
Yes, but again, I will always say, this has nothing to do with Biden's age as his age. This is that they don't want Kamala to be.
Yes, there it is right there.
That's all this is.
Listen, they didn't want a black man to be president. They did not want a black man to be president. How in the hell do you think they want a black woman to be president?
First of all, they don't want a woman to be president.
Well, they didn't want a white woman to be president.
Look what they did to Hillary.
They didn't want a white woman to be president.
That's right. Clinton was a white woman.
But it's just
educated.
Yeah, and they're saying it out loud, like the guy that said she's a DEI person, a woman, and then as the man said, and it just took me back. And she's colored.
Yes,
he said it out of his mouth. She's colored.
They said that she's colored.
So that's the latest mantra. She's a DEI, and that's the synonymous as I guess with black people. I don't know. But anyway,
oh my goodness!
I think that the people who sat on the stage at Essence did an amazing job because they had Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett and Maxine Waters. They are not going to let you.
They need more Jasmines.
Yes.
They need more.
Yes.
Maxine. Let me tell you. I don't know if you guys saw the Essence event
panel that
in Louisiana. You can go to Don Lemon's page. He has he covers the whole thing,
right?
And videotape. Maxine Ward, she said, "What y'all worried about? Why y'all worrying about Biden?" She goes, "I'm older than Biden, and I'm still doing my work.
Right,
I'm working for the people."
And so is Nancy.
Yes.
Who spoke?
Nancy's older than Biden.
Quiet. You older than Biden. Stop talking.
I'm like,
yeah,
it's insane.
And how many of them? When we talk about, you don't even have to go like to the former president and them not talking about him getting out of the race, which should be their focus. But Mitch McConnell froze twice.
Yes,
I mean literally froze.
Where he was like this, like this. It was bad.
When did they say, "Oh, he needs to step down"? Nobody said he needs to step down.
Yep.
They just carted him off, recharged that battery.
Because he's an old white man who they believe in.
They recharged his battery and brought him out the following week.
I think it's just like I said. I think that yes, people like Taraji brought some focus on Project 2025, but it's also social media that brought it to her attention.
Yes.
We got to remember, social media is a powerful tool, and we have to decide if we want to be powerful in what we do, or do we want to be used? We have to decide what type of tool we want to be. And I think that's what we have to focus on. That's why I told you I refuse if I'm talking on my platform, I refuse to talk about anything about ageism. I am old enough myself.
Shoot.
My children who are in their 30s forget stuff. They're like, I forgot what I was going to do.
I forget things. But the thing is, Biden is the president. He is doing his job every day. It's like one of the people in the campaign said, he's doing it every day. What does he have to prove?
All day.
He's doing his job all day. And you can definitely compare notes. You know how Trump was as his presidency, where
he was golfing
millions
all
of
the time.
million people died, not millions, but hundreds of thousands of people died under his watch with a disease, who were unemployed. He did not look out for the poor. He did not look out for the middle working class. And the list goes on and on.
Inject themselves with bleach.
Yeah, inject yourself with bleach. Lisa says, don't believe the polls. Don't believe the media entirely. Believe your vote in the booth. Half of the comments against Biden on social media are bots. I agree.
Absolutely. And remember,
I agree.
Remember, I listen to people say, "Oh, I'm afraid we're not going." The only way we lose is that we don't show up.
That's right.
Yeah.
And as I shared it with Ron. So this is what I want to remind anyone who did not vote, or thinking about not voting, or voted, or thinking about third party. I'm going to tell you, if that's how you showed up in 2016, everything that you don't like now is because of you. So if you didn't vote, you voted third party, or you voted for 45, you are responsible for what's happening now in this country.
Yes.
Just remember that. So
always
unless you show up, you don't show up to vote, you vote for a third party, or you go to that side, which I don't understand why you would do it. It's on us to show up. We need to show up. If you're going to have a state like Louisiana that's in the situation they're in because 600,000 people did not show up to vote.
Think about it. 600,000 people did not show up to vote. And that's why they got a nut in the governor. He's a governor, right?
Yes, he's a governor. And the fact that when we look at percentages, I can't remember which country it is where 90-something% of their people vote. We have
the lowest turnout of elections in the world and any modern democracy.
And then we think about 2020 when they talk about how large a number of people came out to vote, we still were not at 90-some%.
Yeah,
man.
Imagine if we can get there. Imagine if we all show up for democracy.
Yes, if we all showed up for democracy, what changes could we make in this country? I mean, all these people are just. I'm voting. They're interviewing some folks the other day. I think it was yesterday, or one of the panelists, and they had this one black dude said, "I'm sorry to say, but I'm voting for Trump." The rest of the room, like it was all black folks, obviously. They were all like, "I'm voting for Biden." But there are some folks that are going to vote for Trump that are black. There are some people that vote for Trump that are Spanish. There are some people that vote for Trump that are Asian. There are some people that there's a whole lot of people in the world that vote against their own needs and what they can do for themselves. They vote against themselves every time. There's just that kind of person out there.
What's the there's that syndrome when you associate with your captors. What's it called again? Stockholm syndrome. Yes, that's what America is. They have Stockholm syndrome.
Of course.
Yeah. Hey, Bryan.
Especially
what's up, sir?
Man, I came in on Stockholm syndrome.
It is crazy, though. It's absolutely crazy. I see here, Lisa says, and she says, and to Jazz, all these new dumpers forget all of our tax returns were less because of the rules he put in. And exactly. He made sure that all the cities pulled from their taxes, all of the big cities. Yes.
And I think it's a lot that, because I saw David earlier, we didn't talk about what people don't understand about structures, right? So you look at a gas price, there's also gas taxes in there.
Yes.
That people don't talk about. And no one talks about the fact that, and I said this the last time we were here, the gas prices have gone down and Biden has done put some things in place so it didn't go up as crazy as it could have been. When it went up initially, what people don't talk enough about is that Biden had to live with something that Trump did, that the past president did before he left, that did not expire until 2021, which was a deal with the OPEC nations to reduce the amount of oil they were producing. That was his deal. And so most people don't understand how that works. And Jazzy and I talk about this a lot. people don't understand that that most, and they mentioned it last night, most of the time you're living under a former president's doing. So when Biden had the deficit for this country has been reduced under Biden, which is always the case under a Democrat. They have to reduce the deficit that's left behind by their Republican predecessor. So
all the time.
So as you say, it's high. It's not as high as it was when he walked through the door.
That's right. And also, people don't realize again that the reason why interest rates had to go up, and we also had because of inflation, and why we had inflation is because the president didn't do what he was supposed to do in the beginning of the crisis.
Yeah.
The funny thing, well, I shouldn't say funny, but I'm deeper into my listening of the audiobook, the Trump tapes from Bob Woodward, and we're deep into the section where his interviews with the former president during COVID, the early months of COVID. And the thing I like about this, and I guess this is my plug for anybody who is curious how I learn what I learn, audiobooks, podcasts. Bob Woodward intersperses facts in, overdubbing of the audio book. And so the part I just finished before you guys came on, I was doing my walk. Convict Orange is talking about, it's I think this was in the chapters in February of 2020. And he's talking about, the numbers are low, Bob, but we're testing. But if we test more, the numbers will rise higher, blah, blah, blah. And then he stops and gives the actual numbers now that he can look back, says, by that time, we were the highest numbered reported cases in the world.
Yeah.
And the experts surrounding the former president, the one consistent thing they were telling Bob Woodward was that he's like, the quote, he is a rudderless ship. We're giving him information and he just, the eyes glaze over. So
when you have someone that is not a critical thinker, I know that's gotten a bad rap for being a critical thinker, but you have to be a critical thinker to survive in the world you live in. You have to be able to, what makes us different from wildlife is that human beings are supposed to be critical thinkers. We say, I can't get across the water. The water is flowing. How do I make a way to get across the water? Human beings have the capability of saying, let me take a couple of branches. Maybe I got a branch or a trunk that goes across the stream so I can go on the trunk and walk across the water. That took critical thinking. We as human beings are supposed to be using our critical thinking abilities. And unfortunately, someone like Trump, I know y'all don't use his name,
I know.
but I just have to be direct and use his name.
Yeah.
With someone like that, like you said, their eyes glaze, his eyes just glaze. He has no foundation of education or critical thinking. Listen to him with his speeches. Like for instance, about what was it? He was talking about airplanes, electrical airplanes. Where they're going to get their power from? Well, even if they were solar airplanes, do you know that when planes go to 32,000 feet, which is their cruising speed, cruising altitude is 33,000 feet, there are no clouds. 33,000 feet is nothing but sun. But the ability to think about basic stuff. But I still can't believe that there's so many people that are supporting this person. Almost less than, I don't want to say less than human, but just a really bad person.
Asshole.
He is, none of these people will want their child to be him.
If I could offer, like, for future, because I know I came in late, but like one at the top of the show, you gave me praise or gave us praise. we're doing that. Our goal is to do that every week. Yesterday was our first, so it's kind of spotty. We're going to do that every Wednesday. But for the sake, what I would like to do, I haven't figured this out yet. Listening, I know some people can't stand to listen to the former president. And it's cringy for me as I listen to this audiobook, which I've been listening to it's like how I read Project 2025. It took me months. I've been listening to this book for months, but I think it would behoove everyone if I figure out an IG live or maybe on here somewhere where I can just play clips and give you guys context. And that way, because these interviews that Bob Woodward has with former president, and these are snapshots in time, just like photography, and these are he's unedited. These are strict phone calls, or when he interviews them in the Oval or whatnot, and hearing him, and then especially when Bob Woodward throws the facts in after the interview, it's like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? So I don't know how. Maybe we talk about that offline, but I see value in that, because it's one thing for any of us to spew facts and to give our valid opinions based off of lived experience and just a gut check. But hearing this man, or the I don't know when you came in, Ron. I think Alieze, you saw it yesterday. We started that room by playing the video. It's a short video that the Lincoln Project put together, and the ish is scary, but it's scary because there's no hyperbolic vocabulary or anything. It is based off of what has been said and what is laid out in Project 2025 if this man were to be brought back into the White House. And I encourage everybody to go. I put it in my stories after the room last night. Go and click on it and look at it. I keep putting that up, and it starts with on election day. And
when they first posted it, I put it up too. What you need to do is just go to the Lincoln Project page.
Lincoln Project, yes.
Let's start posting that stuff, because that's what the Democrats should be doing. I don't know who can talk to. Where's the guy who's leading this Democratic National Convention? Because I would love to meet Jamie. I think that's his name. So
Jamie was on this morning. Yes, he's so good.
But who?
Jamie, he was so good this morning.
He's not good enough.
But he's not exactly. I'm like, they need to organize.
I'm gonna be hard on him.
Yeah,
he should be doing what the Lincoln Project should be doing. If you're gonna sit there and be a chair of something, chair it. When I was a PTA president, I told him I would lay down in the middle of 16th Street and die before they brought some stuff. And I said it on radio. And I didn't wait for somebody. That I was the leader of that school PTA. I was protecting this community, and I told him I was willing to risk my life for it. He needs to be looking at the Lincoln Project site and replicating what they're doing. They already gave you the format. These Lincoln Project people
are no joke. They are so good at what they do.
They're having conversations with people to help them understand what they need to do. They're giving them a strategy. All the Democrats have to do is follow the strategy. I'll tell anyone, go to Lincoln Project page, start posting those things. And the people say, oh, they're trying to scare. Yep, we want you to be scared, because this is your reality. This will be what happened in Nazi Germany if we don't do what we're supposed to do. Period.
And I would add the Lincoln Project. It is made up of what I feel like are actual
Republicans,
conservative Republicans that believe in democracy.
Yes.
So, and Ryan, that's not that one, but if you go back out, it's the one in the upper left. Yeah, that's got his upper. Yeah, that one is the one. Yeah, I encourage everybody, go watch that.
A divided and dispirited Democratic campaign.
Yeah.
On January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump is sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. Unfortunately, he keeps his promises. Trump seizes control of a divided government, signing hundreds of executive orders implementing Project 2025. Trump replaces over 50,000 civil servants with hardline MAGA loyalists. The The federal oath of office now requires declaring loyalty to the president, not the Constitution. Protected by the Supreme Court's grant of total immunity for official acts, Donald Trump orders the Department of Justice to arrest members of the January 6th Commission, current and former DOJ employees, and political opponents for treason, election interference, and conspiracy. He declares it to be an official act. Trump ends birthright citizenship by executive order and turns millions of American-born citizens into illegal aliens overnight. Mass deportations begin. Hundreds of thousands, including legal U.S. residents and American citizens, are imprisoned in newly built camps. Protests erupt. Trump addresses the nation from the Oval Office, invoking the Insurrection Act and declaring the protesters a danger to American sovereignty. He orders the National Guard to use deadly force to suppress the protests. In the wake of the bloody violence, Trump declares nationwide martial law, awarding himself new powers under the freshly signed American Sovereignty Protection Order, which defines protest of immigration policies as non-protected speech and a threat to national security. Governors in New York, California, Illinois, and elsewhere declare their opposition, promising to refuse compliance in their states. Trump orders their arrests. Trump pardons every January 6th attacker, including those who assaulted the police, and in a White House ceremony issues a new presidential medal honoring them. Many are given jobs in his administration. The Department of Education is renamed the Department of American Values and mandates a nationwide Christian nationalist curriculum for all schools receiving federal aid. Trump, joined by Speaker Mike Johnson and evangelical leaders, announces that the Department of Health and Human Services has reclassified mifepristone, making it illegal to distribute or prescribe, as well as new HHS regulations that make treatments impossible to legally administer.
So I'm going to stop there because it's long, but it is worth watching. If you have not seen if you are not following the Lincoln Project, and I agree, Alieze, the Lincoln Project is doing their work for them.
Yeah.
All they got to do is copy, paste, share.
Yeah.
Copy, paste, share.
That's all they have
Copy,
to do.
paste, share on every
Command
single
C, Command V.
Yeah, command, and get it out there. We're going to close out a little bit because
you know that one of the people,
hour,
that one of the people who works with the Lincoln Project is George Conway.
Yes,
Conway's husband.
He's
one of the ones that helped found that.
Ex-husband.
Her ex or current. I don't know if they divorced or not.
Oh, he divorced her.
Yeah. They got rid. They're done.
So, they were still married when he started this.
Oh yeah, he was. They were separated.
So I just say, post that. I post stuff every day.
I post it all the time. I do all the time.
And just focus on the fact that anyone that gets to hear this or who are wavering or thinking about not voting, and I've seen people. I'm going to start saying names on here. Like that Dr. Umar. Go someplace.
Yes.
I'm not going to vote for him. I'm not going to vote for that. I was going to vote for Cornel West, but I'm not. Please stop talking.
Yes.
You're not giving any leadership. We need to not listen to people who aren't giving you leadership. And I know Bryan said, you talk about fact. I don't share my opinion. I'm sharing straight up facts based on history and the information that they provided. And I want you to know that when Trump, they start saying that the former president and his agenda 47 is in alignment with Project 2025, down to the military doing what they could do with protesters. And I brought this up last night, the part that they mentioned in there about the states. I brought this up last night when they said if he gets back in any of these governors in the quote unquote current blue states,
it's right.
He can officially have them arrested for opposing his policies and agendas. According to the Supreme Court. It's going to get
crazy if this man is in. But guys, we need to close out. But so now, something I'm going to make sure I do every time we have our panelists on. Alieze, where can people find you?
You can find me at SALIEZE _ on Instagram. That's
awesome.
Really where you find me.
Bryan, where can people find you?
Bryan Young Creative. Instagram, YouTube. What else? That's my business name. That's a play on my initials. You can find me practically anywhere where they will allow me, Bryan Young Creative. Some social media sites, they limit it. So I just put Bryan Young Create. It won't let me get the E, but you can always find me there. I think this Sunday I'm doing, I got to check with you, Alieze. I really want to do get more consistent with my art therapy lives. So I think this Sunday I may do that. I got to check on my dad schedule first, but Bryan Young Creative.
Okay. And Chris, where can people find you, sir?
Everywhere, constantly _changing the number 4 me, all one word.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So we're gonna get off of here. We may continue this conversation tomorrow, but Focus Friday is where we focus on accounts that bless, encourage, and inspire. So we're gonna try to do that tomorrow. Also, if you
Ron, can I respond to Lisa's last comment real quick?
Oh yeah, you can.
So Lisa, because it's the National Guard that would have needed to come into DC, the president had to release them to be able to come. So the state of Virginia, the state of Maryland, and the district wanted their National Guards to respond. That the former president did not respond for 3 hours, and they could not override him coming in because it's in DC. So you have DC, but you also have the seat of the government.
Yes.
So he had to approve the National Guard from any of those states coming in, and all 3 states attempted to send their National Guard in as soon as it got crazy.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Thank you for addressing that. I think we're good. I think we had a good show here today. A good community meetup, meeting time together. I know that Chris has to do get back to work. We all have to get back to work and do what we need to do for the day.
I actually have work today,
tomorrow we'll be back here at 10 o'clock. But thank you so much for joining us. And I see all the comments. I hope you guys, you guys are moving so fast and we were talking about so many subjects. I couldn't get them all up on the screen. But guys, thank you so much for your participation. It was wonderful. Can you hear that wind blowing on my mic?
I see it blowing through your
wind is it feels so good in New York today. Just loving it. It's so nice. Anyway, we're gonna have a good day. Get out there again, live life like you mean it, and focus on what matters.
Yes, and everyone, I know that's not gonna work because I'm not on my phone, but everyone post.
Mine is not working either.
Look, I'm gonna challenge everyone before Ron signs out. Everyone that's in here,
yes.
Let's see you put up something. If you don't have to create it, go to the Lincoln Project, but post something, even if it's nothing but democracy versus dictatorship. Everyone needs to be posting something.
Be involved.
The more we do it, the more other people who follow us pick it up.
Just did mine.
Democracy.
And also remember, I really believe that because a lot of us are talking about this online, that's why the news media is starting to talk about it.
Yeah, they have.
They follow our lead. News, this platform, your platform is. Don't think your voice is small. Every one of us together makes a mighty noise, some mighty noise. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Love you all. See you tomorrow, fresh and ready at 10 o'clock. And guys, have a great day. Talk to you later. Love you. Thank you guys for coming on. Love ya.